From my experience completing and talking to thousands of real estate students, you will see similar topics of questions spread out through the entire Ontario Real Estate Salesperson Program Course 1 exam. On the exams of Course 1, and I say exams because I do get this question all the time, they ask me, if I fail an exam, will I get that same exam on my retake? The answer is you will not. It won't be the same, but you will get very similar questions on the next exam. That is what I'm going to cover in this video because you're going to see as much as 10 to 20% of repetition and similar topics that come up again and again. In this video, we're going to cover two main topics, and I'm also going to couple it with a really good example question and answers that you will see in the exam. This is going to help really make it stick. Just quickly, if you are looking for additional support to pass these exams first try or crush or retake, look to the Exam Master mini courses in the description below. More on that later in the video, but let's just dive right into it. Two big parts to understand. The first is our code of ethics, which might be one of the biggest, and the second is real estate governance. Both are related and both are to uphold the very high standards of the real estate industry here in Ontario. Just try to keep that in mind because when this is all said and done and you're finished all the educational portion of this process, if the real estate program, the Ontario Salesperson Real Estate Program, has made you a safer, honest, and fair real estate agent, they have succeeded. Your success as a real estate agent, making money, building a long-term business, comes at a distant second. I know that sounds a bit weird, but raising the standards of the real estate industry is their main priority. This program, although has a ton of material and can be helpful, its ultimate focus is about the integrity of the profession. So now you understand that. Once you're finished this program, yourself or the amazing people you partnered with will be the people that are going to be growing your business. And that is why this channel is here for you, of course. Let's get you through the Ontario Salesperson Program fast and efficient, and let's crush your first year. Okay, first topic, the code of ethics. As a salesperson, we are required to uphold the standards set to provide sellers and buyers with conscientious and competent service and ensuring everyone is treated with fairness, honesty, and integrity. Fairness, honesty, integrity will come up through the entire program, of course, in Course 1. And just so you know what that means, it means, yes, providing amazing service and helping our clients and upholding the standards of the industry, but it also means telling our clients when we are not professionals at a certain subject and have them obtain services from others. These are slam dunk answers when they come up on the exams, and I'll show you what I mean in a potential question that may come up in the exam. Question 1. As you are showing your clients Melissa and Mike a home that fits their criteria, Melissa notices some minor discoloration on the ceiling in the kitchen. She asks you if this is a problem they should be concerned about. You say, A, I would suggest weighing your options in this market and understanding your risk factors. B, personally, I've heard of a situation where someone was able to fix that for around $300. C, I've actually fixed that problem a few times in my life. I could come over and give it a go, no problem. And D, because I'm not an expert, I would suggest a home inspector or the use of a third-party professional. What is the answer? And there's definitely a couple that look pretty good here. Even the first one, A for sure, but always choose the safest option. The answer would be suggest the use of a third-party professional. You might think to yourself, and especially when we get into question 2, which is even a harder question, you might think to yourself, especially if you're early on, it's Course 1 right now, you haven't had too much experience with these exams, or if it's late in an exam. These are long exams. Towards the end of exam, your mind's fried, you're burnt out. You might think, oh, I might be able to help this client even more. Instead of me saying you need to find someone else to fix that problem, well, if I can fix that problem or provide an amazing value to the client, maybe I can build that relationship a bit deeper. They might even think, I'll now start referring this person to my family and friends because they're so valuable. That is a thought that you have, especially in the real world. However, the Ontario Real Estate Salesperson Program will always want you to choose the safest option. That first answer is definitely something you might think about, especially in a seller's market. Suggest weighing options in this market and understand your risk factors. That's not a bad answer at all, but it will not be the answer. And you might even see stuff like this where two look pretty good, both could work. Always choose the safest option. They don't care about you making money. They care about you being safe, honest, high integrity. Okay, let's move on to the second one, understanding real estate governance, TRESA and RICO. This isn't too hard stuff to understand. How they word the questions can be the tricky part, but understanding this now is extremely valuable because yes, this is coming up in course 1, but it's also going to repeat itself all the way through the program. TRESA, the Trust in Real Estate Services Act, provides a framework of regulation of the real estate profession. It's just an act, right? Trust in Real Estate Services Act. It's just been something that's essentially been made up and agreed upon. And now that it's agreed upon, its purpose is for registrants, real estate agents, brokers, etc. to follow to ensure the integrity of a real estate transaction is upheld. RICO, the Real Estate Council of Ontario, administers TRESA on behalf of the provincial government. That is a key part there. The provincial government is involved in real estate to sustain public trust in the real estate marketplace. Believe it or not, RICO being involved in real estate, essentially the provincial government being involved in real estate, is a good thing for the profession as a whole. It does build trust and creates a good foundation for the profession's success. When it's time and you finish the entire Ontario Salesperson program, you will send off your application to RICO. They are the ones that have the ability to officially register you as a salesperson or myself as a broker, for example, even a brokerage. Okay, let's couple this with another question you may see in the exams to really help make it stick. Question 2. Code of ethics is found in the associated regulations of TRESA. These are minimum standards that all registrants must follow when conducting business. What statement is true about the code of ethics? On to A. These standards are in place to protect salespersons, brokers, and the brokerage by promoting professionalism amongst registrants. Okay, this is incorrect and a little tricky. They are in place to protect the public's best interest. On to B, the obligations under the code never vary and you will always be promoting and protecting the best interests of all parties involved. This is also incorrect. The obligations under the code will definitely vary sometimes. This answer sounds good, but it will definitely vary. For example, if you are providing services to a client or assisting a self-represented party. Of course, they will be treated differently and it will vary because we have a higher obligations, much higher obligations, of course, owed to a client than we do to a self-represented party. On to C, these standards are in place to protect the public's best interest and promote professionalism among registrants. Okay, nothing sounds too wrong here. Always leave the cursor when you're on the exams. Always bring the cursors to each answer you're on. It helps for sure. Leave the cursor also hovered over any possible answer that may sound like it could be correct or you don't know. In this case, leave it hovered, but always read the last. Always read the rest of the questions for the full process of elimination. D, these standards are in place for clients and self-represented parties who are represented by a brokerage. This is also incorrect and again, pretty tricky, right? They say the word represented there. A brokerage is not representing a self-represented party, are they? They coupled it together in that answer. They are only representing a client. So the correct answer is C. These standards are in place to protect the public interest and promote professionalism among registrants. Definitely a harder question here and something you might see. If you even just go back through it, look at these subtle words like represented parties, grouping a client and a self-represented party together, or switching out registrants here instead of the public's best interest. These exams can be hard and tricky, especially depending on which version of the exam you get. Like mentioned before, if you are looking for additional support to pass these exams first try or crush or retake, look to the Exam Master mini courses in the description below. It's mini notes, mini quizzes, my exact fundamentals I use to pass all exams first try and in 4.5 months, as well as video breakdowns of the 4 types of questions you may see in the exams. They will help an absolute ton, and those links in the description below are also value links for the YouTube family only for the time being. If you have any questions at all, DM, email, comment on this video. I get back to everyone. My name is Callum Moore, eXp Realty Real Estate Broker here in Ontario. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.